After the scheduled intermission, it is our privilege to reconvene for keynote address 3 of the 10th International Conference on Universal Human Values in Higher Education. In today's rapidly changing global landscape, education is called upon to go beyond academic excellence and professional competence too. It must nurture ethical clarity, social responsibility, and a deep respect for human dignity. Education, when rooted in values, empowers young people not only to succeed in their careers, but to contribute meaningfully to a just, inclusive, and harmonious society. This keynote address focuses on the transformative role of education in shaping youth as conscious, compassionate, and responsible citizens, individuals capable of responding to societal challenges with sensitivity, wisdom, and a spirit of coexistence. To deliberate on this important theme, we are honored to invite Dr. Umesh
जो
Jadhav,
आ रहा है नीचे
a
टैग आदित्य
distinguished
सैनी लिखा रहा है
academician, national resource person, and committed thinker in the field of universal human values to deliver keynote
मतलब
address.
हाँ उमेश भैया का जो ना वो
Dr.
उमेश भैया वाला
Umesh
कैमरा नहीं
Namdev
ऑन है
Jadhav
बल्कि
is an empaneled
आदित्य सैनी
national
वाले नाम
resource
से जा रहा है
person
उनका नाम
for universal human values
ठीक है
and has been deeply engaged in exploring
ठीक है
UHV
वो तो हो गया
proposals
मैंने कर
to
दिया
understand existential realities. A former faculty member at N2 College of Business
चला दिया
Studies, Royal University of Bhutan, he has conducted numerous faculty development programs across India and in Bhutan too. He currently serves as a member of National Coordination Committee for the Induction Program under the All India Council for Technical Education and also contributes as a regional coordinator for UHV Western Region. We extend a warm and respectful welcome to Dr. Umesh Jadhav and invite him to deliver the third keynote address, please. Sir.
Good evening to our Indian audience and good morning to the US audience. Before I initiate the keynote 3, let me recap our discussions from keynote 1 and keynote 2. So what we have discussed in the keynote 1 is the basic human aspiration is for the continuity of happiness and the prosperity. Whatever we do, whatever we will be doing, even whatever we did it in the past, there was an expectation that by doing this thing, I'll be happy. So happiness that drives us to do the things. So that stands out our basic aspiration, the happiness. A student is studying in the college, but why he is studying in the college? Because he wants to be happy. After completion of his education, he wants to get into the job. But why do he want to get a job? Because he wants to be happy. So happiness is our basic aspiration. For the fulfillment of the basic aspiration of happiness, what basically we need is the clarity within, the right understanding within. So right understanding, which means understanding the harmony at all the levels of my being, starting from individual, family, society, nature, and existence. With the development of such understanding, we will be able to identify our relationship with human beings and also the rest of the nature, which results into happiness and the prosperity. So for the fulfillment of the basic aspiration, these three things are required: right understanding, right feelings, and physical facility. In fact, we can say that for the survival, the physical facility is required, but to live happily, the feeling of relationship is required. And for the continuous happiness, the right understanding is required. And that is the role of education. So the role of education is to develop the competence to live with human consciousness. The role of education is to enable this transformation to the human consciousness. This is what we have discussed in the keynote 1. In the keynote 2, we identified the importance of feelings of relationship with it. Each one of us naturally want to live with the feeling of relationship. I mean, if I ask you this question, what is natural to you? The feeling of relationship or opposition? A very natural answer comes is relationship. Because each one of us are able to observe that whenever we have that feeling of opposition within, the jealousy within, the competition within, that puts us in a trouble. So the relationship is important. Majority of our problems today are not due to the lack of physical facilities, but they are due to the lack of fulfillment in relationship. Developing the understanding on human-human relationship and living with the feeling of relationship, that is what we have discussed in the Keynote 2, how to ensure harmony at the level of family. The Keynote 3 is the extension of the same thing. It's an extension of our aspiration of a humane society. Before I open up our discussions on Keynote number 3, let me just draw your attention on the achievement we all have made as a human being. So if you look into our collective achievement of the world today, the great scientific breakthroughs, the world has witnessed phenomenal development on this planet. For example, the atomic energy and electronics. The atom has been smashed, resulting into tremendous release of energy, and also opening the gates of a wonderful world of electronics. The digital and IT revolution. We all are from the different states of India and even from the different countries of the world, sitting at our home or maybe in our office and got connected. Isn't it a wonderful achievement of the human being? Have we ever thought that the people would get connected and they would try to help each other in the development of their understanding, development of their feelings through sitting at home, digital media, through this internet? So this is a wonderful achievement of a human being. We always had a curiosity to understand what is there on the other planet, and this curiosity helped us to innovate the satellites, and we already stepped on the moon. And we are eager to step on the different planets which are existing in the whole existence. Not only this, but look at the advancement what we have done in this field of medical. Many non-curable diseases just 30 years ago, 40 years ago, are into the list of curable diseases these days. The miraculous medicines are helping us to come out of the diseases with the minimum bearable pain to the body. The green evolution. We are able to produce more than 6 times of our need today collectively in the world, so that nobody can sleep with the starvation and hunger. The global adaptations and the development. So like this, if you keep making the list of our achievement, you'll find that there's an endless list of our achievement in the field of science, technology, medical science, satellites, and whatnot. And this is shaping up a new culture. This is shaping up a new civilization, a new society. On the one side, all these advantages of the modern technology. But if you look at the other side of the same thing, that looks very darker. You know, one of the facts of the darker side is, according to some of the reports which are published in 2025, the large data centers can consume up to 5 million gallons per day, which translate to scale comparable to the water use of a small town of a population of 10 to 15,000 people. It's a serious issue. All the countries are working on removal the poverty. We are trying to provide the solutions for the unemployment. But then it's a fact that the poverty and the unemployment are only rising up every year. There's a growing violence and social strife. If we put this question to ourselves, do we want to have peace or war in the world? the natural answer comes peace. But a very unnatural news comes on our television, internet, and newspaper every day that the wars are happening. There's a massive consumption of inequality. The wealthiest 20% of the people use 58% of the energy, and the poorest 20%, poorest 20% of the population, use less than 4% of the energy. Unsustainable global consumptions. So on the one hand, the education is becoming popular across the globe. Every country is doing remarkably good in opening up new educational institutions, colleges, and the university. If you look at the data of every single country which is existing on our planet Earth, then we'll find that the literacy rate of every single country is increasing every year. This is happening, from the old blackboard classroom, now we are into the era of a smart classroom. So a lot of infrastructural developments are also happening in the fields of education. If all these things are happening, then why the percentage of the population in the world, if you look at the individual people going through tension, frustration, depression, tension, suicidal thought, and suicide is also increasing. If our education is increasing and the number of people who are going through the process of education spending minimum 20 to 25 years in education, if this is increasing, then why the interpersonal relationship issues are also increasing? The fights between husband and wife, the fight between parents and children, the fights between siblings and the cousins, becoming a routine scenario of almost many families. Education is to bring the people together. But then why there is so much of fear is getting into the society every day? Education is to help us to develop the understanding how to live mutually fulfilling with the rest of the nature. But then why the environmental issues are increasing upon? Are you okay with the things which are happening today? Or you want some solutions for the things which is happening in this modern society? So in this keynote, we are going to do a fundamental exploration on some of the few points. The point number one, what is a humane society? The point number two, where do we want to be as a human society? The point number three, where are we today? The point number four, what would be the comprehensive human goal to be achieved collectively? And the point number five, what efforts are required to fulfill a human goals? So I'll be focusing on these 5 points. But before to get into the keynote, let me ask you these 3 questions. There are 3 statements. The statement number A, families living together in a relationship of mutual fulfillment. The statement B, people living together but not in a relationship of mutual fulfillment. And the statement C, people living separately in opposition struggle. What do you think? Where are we today? In the statement A, B, or C? You can respond to the chat box. You have microphones. You can unmute yourself. So the response I'm getting in the chart that we are in B and C. But then let me ask you another question. Where do you want to be? What is your desirable state? Yeah, the previous question, some of you have responded B, some of you have responded C, some of you have responded B and C. But then what is desirable? Everybody's answer is the same. Everybody is saying that A. Let us try and understand the meaning of these 3 statements. A, the family is living together in a relationship of mutual fulfillment. That is the meaning of society. Family is living together. Together, which means together. If you are in need, as a family, your neighbor is there to support you. If you are not at home, your neighbor is there to protect your home. You can easily hand over your key to your neighbor and ask your neighbor that I'm going out for the 10 days. Can you take care of my house? And the neighbor would be very happy to take care of your house. You do not have to worry about your children if they're at home, left at home, because someone is there from your colony to take care of your children. That's the meaning of people living together, complementing each other, helping each other, supporting each other as one family. Because all of these families have understood the common goal and they're working together, they're putting efforts together for the achievement of this common goal. And this is the meaning of a society. If you take a drone shot of a market, then what a camera can capture? The camera can capture a lot of people there. But if you try and look into their goals are differing. So that is what is generally we call a crowd. These days we are getting so many videos on internet and television about the war. And in those war footage, what we get to see that the people living separately, they are in opposition, they are in struggle. So that is what is called battlefield. So when I ask you, where are we today? Your answer was, we are in crowd and battlefield. And this is the question. Despite of we are putting so much of efforts to educate our children are living in the crowd and the battlefield. Do we want our children continue to live in this battlefield of crowd, or we want to develop our children for a society? So this is a question for each one of us. And we are going to explore on this question further in this particular keynote address. Before I move on, let me see if there is any question. Any question, any reflection from the participant, from the panelist? Audience.
By raising hand, you can get mic from here.
Yes, so let us try and understand what is the meaning of a society. So family is the basic unit or building block of human organization. All these families put together is called society, who have identified the goal and working to achieve this common goal. So society is the next larger order. Society is composed of many families living together, making a collective efforts for a common goal. Then what is required for the fulfillment of the aspiration of our human society? Identification of a human goal. So the human goal of right understanding and right feeling in every individual. What do you think? This right understanding and right feeling is required in every individual or only few individuals? What do you think? This right understanding and right feeling is required in every individual, and you are also one of that every individual? So the right understanding and right feeling is required in every individual. Health in every individual. Prosperity. What do you think? Only few families can be prosperous and other deprived? Or the prosperity in every family? So the prosperity in every family. Fearlessness, trust and justice in the society. The coexistence, mutual enrichment in nature and existence. So this becomes our human goal, addressing all the levels of our being and living, individual, family, society, nature, and existence. This is what we want. But where are we today? Would you like to have a glance of a crowd and the battlefield? Then we get to see that this assumption, money is everything. And this is in most of the individuals. Under this assumption, only one program is there. Earn money, and accumulate more and more money without having clarity that how much money is required. Do we have a clarity today that how much is required? So without this clarity, the result is only accumulation. Now tell me one thing very honestly. Without exploiting the human being or the rest of the nature, can you accumulate? So this is resulting into an obsession for consumption, obsession for profit, obsession for sensual pleasure. But what is expected is the right understanding and right feeling in every individual. There's an indulgence which is resulting into many different diseases. But what is our desire is the health in every individual. The natural to us is the prosperity in every family. But this assumption that the money is everything, we are trying to accumulate by any means, and this accumulation is not possible for all the family, but only for the few families. So there's a divide between rich and poor, which is resulting into exploitation, injustice, and fear in the society. As an outcome, we get to see wars and terrorism. But what is expected is the fearlessness, the trust, justice in the society. Our natural acceptance is for the coexistence, mutual enrichment in nature and existence. But then what is happening today? The mindset is getting developed to have a mastery and exploit the nature. As the outcome, we get to see the resource depletion and the pollution. I hope you all are agree with what is happening and what is desirable. Any question?
Sir, one concern is there in chat box. This is from Chilakala Padmavati ji. She's saying it is difficult to guide children without change in society, sir.
Yeah, Chilakala ji, thank you so much. I mean, it's a good question that it's difficult to guide the children. So you have microphones. So would you like to put your question on the mic?
Yeah, can we give mic to Chilakala ji?
Yes.
Yes.
Chilakala ji, you have mic. You can unmute yourself.
Mic is there with you, Chilakala ji. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, I guess she is having some technical difficulty in unmuting the mic. Anyway, so what you say is in the current society it's difficult to educate the children. Right? This is what basically your question is. But then to transform the society, we have to educate. So education can bring this personal transformation in every individual, which will result into the transformed family and the transformed society. And that is the role of education, right? I hope I have shared some inputs with you. Yeah, there is another input from her only, that media is misleading youth. We need to control in media news. If leaders are not correct, you can't change the youth. So these are the two different things, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
You have to speak. Yes, Chilakala ji.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah, you are audible. Please speak.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. It's because the media is constantly giving bad news only, and it is emotionally disturbing the youth. There is no good news in the TV channels. Then where from the students will get happiness? Everywhere there is news of political leaders fighting with each other, or some disasters, or regarding accidents, or some violence in the society. Where is the good news, sir? We have to control the media. We have to encourage the youth. It is not there. And even newspapers will tell bad only. In newspapers, we have to highlight the good news to the people from all the four corners of the society. In India, four south, north, east, west, all good news should be given to the youth, to the public also. but it is not there. We are not controlling it. Leaders, being a national leaders, they are actors, they are coming with big knives in the films. How should we control them? Who will guide them? Being big leaders in the society, we are not able to control them. Who will teach them?
Very true. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
It's 10 minutes past 9 o'clock. It's a prime time for the Indian television. You know, all the popular daily soap comes at 9 o'clock. But then who has taken the decision to be in this conference? Right? So
Yes, sir.
look at on the one side, you have all those popular daily soaps are going on your television. On the other side, this conference is going on your laptop, but you have taken the decision to be the part of this conference. Right?
That is true, sir.
Yeah.
But for youngsters, know that.
Let me share my inputs.
Okay, sir.
So you have taken the decision based on something.
Yes, yes.
You have decided.
Yes, sir.
That's what the role of education. As a teacher, we can develop this ability in our youth so that they can decide upon themselves what is right for them and what is not right for them.
It's true, sir. Definitely, we need holistic education, sir. We need this discrimination. They have to develop. Otherwise, we can't control them, sir.
Yes, very true, very true. And that is the meaning of education, right? Education, which means to make them understand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you,
sir. So much. Any other question?
Yeah, maybe hear from Janice Koopmans, scientist. If we can provide mic to Janice Koopmans. Okay, sir, we may go ahead.
All right. Our United Nations has come up with this beautiful 17 goals to ensure sustainable development. And all the educational institutions across the globe are putting their efforts to achieve these goals. Have you ever thought in 2025, why do the United Nations found this need to develop this goal for a better world? Which means currently we are not in the better world. Then if you try to dig out and find out the root cause of each of these things, then we find that the root cause is basically the lack of understanding. And that is what our previous participant said, is understanding. If we develop this understanding through education, then such graduates would participate in ensuring these goals for a better world. So what is required for to execute any sort of policy is the clarity. And the clarity not only about the water, the clarity not only about the tree, the clarity not only about an animal, the clarity not only about the human being, but the clarity about the whole nature and the existence. So to address this concern at the root, the human being have to understand three things. Number one, human being. So I am a human being. But what is the meaning of human being? What are the needs of human being? How to fulfill the needs of human being? What are the responses of a human being? Then I also need to understand the whole existence, because I am one of the unit of the whole existence. And I need to understand the human values, which means my role, my purpose of human being in this existence. So these three things are required. We have been talking about these common graduate attributes. Education shall help the youth to develop the holistic vision of life. understanding the broader purpose and the goal, and not only the career-related aspirations. Social responsibility. So acting in a ways that benefit society. Education shall develop an attribute among the graduates of being environmental friendly, engaging into the work that respect and protect the nature, ethical human conduct, making moral and ethical decisions, health and hygiene awareness, maintaining well-being and cleanliness, appreciation and aspiration for excellence, and gratitude for all. But to achieve these attributes, what is required is basically the identification of the human goal. So the human goal of right understanding and right feeling in every individual, health in every individual, prosperity in every family, fearlessness, trust in the society, coexistence, mutual fulfillment in nature and existence. All these five things are required. Yes, no. All these five things are required. Yes.
Yes, good day, everyone.
Good.
Thank you for the mic. Thank you for the
Sir,
opportunity.
Janice want to say something. Janice Koopman, sir, you have unmuted your mic. Please speak.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam. As Mr. Yadav said, I
You're
agree
not
with,
audible here, sir. Are you speaking?
yes, I am speaking.
Okay.
Yes,
Your
so,
voice is not reachable.
Yeah. It's too feeble.
okay, I will put my question or my statement in
Can you be
the
little
chat.
louder?
Yeah. Madam, be a little louder, please.
I'll try to catch you.
Yes, good day. Can you hear me all? Is this better?
Yeah, this is better.
Okay, so I agree with the statement that Mr. Yadav has stated. And indeed, I am from Suriname, which is in South America. And it's quite far from Asia or Europe, but we are really situated in the middle. So the influences of Asia and the Western world, it's really we're in the middle of it. But we still have the same issues and problems what has been stated. So we have to look indeed at the aspects that Mr. Yadav has discussed and presented here. I hope that you can hear me. So maybe it's because I'm very far away in another continent. But indeed, we have the same issues, and in our country we try to you cannot entirely solve the problem, but we make all the stakeholders aware of how important it is. For example, the family, for at school, starting from primary school with the younger children, and the teachers going up to middle school and higher education. So even in our country, we have influences from Europe and the Western, like they call the modern thinking, but from Europe and the United States of America, their culture, their input actually forced upon us through media, through Facebook. We have Facebook, we have like TikTok, and indeed, like the older generation, they see like a shift in what the younger generation actually is living in. So uh, everyone is trying to make these youngsters aware, make the new generation aware, not only through formal education, but also it starts at home. So indeed, media, parents, family, environment, they are all doing their best to to accommodate the new generation. And indeed, you cannot stick to the old way of how the older generation has been abroad, but we try our best. And it's not getting worse, but you can say that everyone actually is trying their best and to make sure that our new younger generation not goes to the wrong path, but still they are guided, and the guidance is very important. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Janice, for your inputs. Uh, yeah, that's true. You are in South America and I'm in Asia. Geographically, we are at the two different ends, but you are also a human being and I'm also a human being, isn't it? As a human being, I want to be happy. I want harmony in my family. I want harmony in the society. I want harmony in the nature. As a human being, you also want the same. So our individual aspiration, though you are in South America and I'm in India, are the same. Plus, that becomes our collective aspirations. So the collective aspirations of you, people living in South America, and the collective aspirations of we, people in India, are the same. And in between, the America and Europe is there, and the Japan is there. So if you put these two ends together, then you will find that the aspiration of every single individual is the same, whether that individual is living on this part of the world or on the another part of the world. But what is required for the fulfillment of an aspiration is education. The education not only to develop the skills to get a job, the job is required, but at the same time, the education which can develop the clarity about the purpose of the human being human, and then living with the feeling of relationship with human being and also with the rest of the nature. What you said is absolutely right, that there shall be the collective efforts of society, which includes media, parents, and the teachers. But then the teachers play a very important role. The children are coming to our educational institutions and they're spending minimum 20, 25 years, starting from their kindergarten to the university education. During this time, if we offer them the value education or the value-based education, then they would not only be able to develop the skills for the survival, but they will also be able to develop the values to live a happy life. So what we are saying about is, can we think of value-based skill education? And this is what the proposal is. So thank you so much for your sharing. I hope I shared some input for you. So this right understanding and right feeling in every individual, and that's the meaning, right? It means our education shall develop this right understanding and right feeling in every individual. All these five things are required, isn't it? But if all these five things are required, where shall we begin with? Do you have your answers? Shall we start with right understanding and right feeling in every individual, or health, or family, or society, or nature? What is your response? Yes. We should begin with right understanding and right feeling in every individual. Okay. If we work on this through our education, then number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5 are the natural outcome of it. But this is what do we need to do as a human being? But then that how part is also required. The system is also required. So societal systems in a human society, number 1, education sanskar. Number 2, health and self-regulation. Number 3, production work. Number 4, justice and preservation. Number 5, exchange and storage. So by implementing these systems, we'll be able to achieve the human goal. Education and sanskar will help us to achieve the goal of right understanding and right feeling. Education. In a very simple meaning, the shortest definition is to understand. But then what do I need to understand? I need to understand the whole expanse of my being. I need to understand about myself, about family, about society, about nature and existence. Based on this understanding, my feelings get developed. My feelings get translated into thoughts. So that feeling and the thought part, that understanding part, that becomes my commitment, preparation, and the practice of living in harmony. So this preparation includes learning the skills and technology for living in harmony at all the four levels, from self to the entire existence. So this commitment, preparation, and the practice, all these things put together is called sanskar. So this education and sanskar will help us in achieving the first goal, right understanding and right feeling in every individual. Let me see if there is any question based on this or any sharing. Ishrat Mirjana ji, do you have any question? Ishrat ji, do you have any question? Deepika ji, do you have any question? Your hands are being raised, so I'm asking you. All right, any question, any sharing? Our participants are attended.
Yeah, Miss Janice.
Yes, Janice.
Yes, thank you very much.
Everything
Yeah, my
has.
microphone is on. So indeed, it's what it's called Sanskar. Mr. Yadav talked about that, and indeed, it's like a holistic approach, right, for understanding, feeling, and skills. If you um, like one of in the chat, one of the other participants said that you need to train also the teachers with in mind the SDPs for students and faculty. Needs to be like a holistic view. You cannot have only like the theories in the books or in a reader, but also in life and in practice. I mean, in practice outside the classroom. And then that like the right skills for prosperity. If our students only talk about it or read it, it's not enough. They have to actually practice that, and it would be good under guidance of those teachers who are trained in it and have the actual specific skills. So, and I think it's what I've seen in my country, it starts with primary school or even pre-primary schools, that you need to have teachers who are trained and as a holistic skill, not only talk or read about it, but actually model those kind of behavior and living styles. So indeed, I really agree with Mr. Yadav that he actually shares with us these 3 points. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That, that sanskar is basically the commitment and the preparation and the practice. Let me give two examples contrast with each other. The one example is, you are getting exposed to these videos on the war, and because there is so much of violence is happening, there could be a possibility that your thoughts may get triggered and influenced, and you may prepare yourself to fight a war. There is another possibility that you are seeing this video where the people are trying not to have a war. They're trying to ensure the peace in the world through dialogues, to communicating with each other. And now also there is a possibility that you may develop the feeling of relationship within and take participation in ensuring the peace in the world. So an input is coming to us. Based on that input, we are developing some understanding, feeling, and the thought. Together, we bring it into the practice, into our living. So that is basically the meaning of sanskar, and it's very well taken. the meaning to you also. And what you said is absolutely right. Right? We have to go beyond the, the teachings. And that's what the universal human value is. The universal human value subject, is not a teaching, but these are proposals. The proposals follow the guidelines of universal, rational, verifiable, leading to the harmony. And the process is very interesting. Here, the teacher doesn't say you have to do this or you shouldn't do this, but the teacher they place this proposal and help student to explore within. Let me just give an example. Like the teacher, they don't say in the classroom that you have to live with the feeling of relationship and relationship is important. But the teacher asks this question to the student. You want to live with the feeling of relationship or opposition? What happens when the thoughts of opposition goes in you? Like, one example. If you have some conflict or ideological difference with your colleague or friend at your office, and then you go home, and sometimes there is a possibility that you may carry that fight in you. And thinking after reaching home, tomorrow I will try to take a revenge. While all these thoughts of opposition goes in you, are you comfortable with them or irritation? So this is basically the process of value education. And this process is helping students to explore within and draw the conclusion based on what they want, what is natural to them, what makes them comfortable and stable within. And happiness is basically the state within. To be in a harmony is the happiness. So thank you, Jansi. Yes, Dr. Prabhjot,
Yes, sir. भैया उमेश जी नमस्ते. मैं ना कुछ I want to just share some viewpoints. Actually, what happened? We need a very trained faculty for that. Previously, in our university, we have one FDP only just for 3 days, and our faculty was thinking that they are trained one, and then they launched this human value and ethic course in our university. And when they are teaching, and in the at that time, at least 2 or 3 students suicide. And I was surprised if human value ethics are there. It's mean students are not getting that value point inside there. And then I came to know that the society is only because that student wants something from their parents. Like if they are in the medical university, they want a, iPhone, they want the big vehicles and all that, and parents are not giving because they are already the fees is very high. And beside this teaching course, students are not getting in because the our faculty is not so much trained to inculcate the human value in the students. Then I respect the Vice Chancellor and said that their training must be at 8 days or 5 days, and so that our faculty should be trained. I think that it should from the ministry that the faculty must be trained for 8 or 5 days before taking this human value and ethics in the university.
That's true. That's true. And this is what has come out between the conversation with Gen Z, that the teacher who are sharing the content of value education need to have that clarity within. The teacher shall be a role model.
Yes, very true. Very true.
Shall be a role,
And if this happen in the university means this thing is not approaching, it's not giving properly the meaning of this human value to the students. That's why this is happening in the universities.
yeah. So the teacher, need to develop this clarity within. They have to have be a role model for the children.
Because sir, what happened? They have trained for 3 days, and then they are going for the class, and their conduct is not definite. But I have seen they are shouting on the student, and the students then that they are laughing. If our student, my teacher is not have the definite conduct, how we can achieve this in ourselves in so less time without practicing? If teachers are going for the teaching, then it's again the problem. first we have to practice this inside the teachers, that they are now trained to teach the youth.
Yeah, and glad to know that you are thinking about higher level of workshops like 5 days and 8 days, and you are also encouraging, promoting many of your faculty to participate into. I'm sure you would also encourage your faculty to join the follow programs and the morning sessions we have. So as we get connected with the following programs and the morning sessions, everyday morning sessions, so all these things
Yes, sir.
to bring the transformation within. So I'm sure that you must be taking efforts for all these things. But
Yes, sir.
it's
Definitely.
very unfortunate that a student of a medical college is committing suicide because not got the iPhone.
Yes.
The parents have
They
already
they
spent.
are not getting the good vehicles. They want big cars for. They don't want the vehicles. They don't want to travel by the bus and all that. They said, if we are a doctor, we want a car for that. And
Yeah,
last year, this side of us, this is very stupid reason that he demanded a car from the parents, and the parents that we can't afford for this, and the student got in this problem.
yeah. Thank you, Dr. Gill. Thank you for sharing. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this is very unfortunate. The student of medical college is committing suicide because not getting iPhones or not getting car while he is studying in the college. Either student today is able to develop the gratitude for the parents. There's a possibility that the parent have given some cell phone, but not the iPhone. But the same parent have taken so much of efforts right from the childhood to bring you to the medical college. Are we able to develop this gratitude? This gratitude is very significant in the development of relationship. At the same time, if the students sitting in our classroom today are able to distinguish between the needs of the self and the need of the body. So this respect, happiness, that is basically the need of the self. The phone or the car, the phone is to communicate and the car is to transport, to commute. This basic clarity, has not been developed before they come to the medical college. And that's nice, at least you as a medical college is taking this efforts to develop this clarity now. See, this is what is happening today, right? Our children want to have job and they want to have money. But if you ask this question, how much money is required? They do not have an answer. They say that, it's indefinite. You cannot identify the needs, how much money is required. But if you understand yourself as a human being, that is the role of education, education, which means developing right understanding. So there's the body, there's the self. The body needs food and the self needs happiness. The food comes from the physiochemical things, but the happiness comes from the right understanding and right feeling, and both the things are required. Both these things get fulfilled separately. Right? So with such sort of education, the right sanskar will get developed. And with the right skill, they would be able to earn more than their required physical facilities. And this is what is required to transform ourselves from the current state to the desirable state. If you look at the current state, this physical facility is everything, which is resulting into so many issues and the problems today. But then we are not okay with that. We want a harmonious society. So the education which can transform human being into human consciousness, which means having right understanding, right feeling, and the physical facility in the set priority order, such individuals, through their personal transformation, they will contribute into the societal transformation, and this is how the society will transform. Just tell me one thing. Without transforming an individuals, is there any possibility of society to be transformed. So for the transformation of the society, we need to transform an individual, and that is the role of education. I hope it is making sense for you all. Any question? Any sharing? Yes, any question, any sharing?
Tilakalati is saying we need a role model to follow, sir.
Yes, we need a role model to follow, and each one of us can become a role model. Yes, Dr. Salim ji. Dr. Salim, you have a microphone, you can unmute yourself. Dr. Salim.
Hello.
Yeah, you are audible now.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Do you have any sharing or question? Okay, I think some network issue.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Dr. Salim.
Sir, one participant has actually messaged, even actually, I felt somewhat it is correct. Even teachers also should be getting the UHB training more and more.
Yeah.
If it is implemented during the interview itself, will it be better, sir?
Say it again. What did you say? Is it implemented?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, can you repeat your last line?
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. So what basically Dr. Salim, want to say that the teacher needs human values, and there should be more and more, such sort of training program or workshops or programs for the teachers need to be arranged and organized. Yes. Basically, and initially, only the teachers need to have, because such teachers can only share the content effectively with the student. So it's going to go through the teachers. So that's a very valid point you have raised. And for that, the frequency of workshops and the training sessions need to be increased. That's also well taken. And that is the reason every week we are conducting these online workshops from morning 9 o'clock till evening 5 o'clock. And not only the online sessions and workshops are happening, but there are so many universities and the colleges across India currently are conducting offline discussions, the face-to-face workshops, starting from 3 days, 5 days to the 8 days. And all these notifications are there on the website of All India Council for Technical Education. So, sir, please, whenever you want to join for such workshops, please go to the website. Thank you. Yes, Janice.
Yes, thank you very much. I wanted to react on that part of having the societal transformation. And one of our panelists says in the chat that it needs to start when the students are younger in the lower schools. And I think when they proceed to higher education and they get training, or even in between and further on, it might help. So what I wanted to bring something extra from the Surinamese society is that we consist of so many cultures with so many backgrounds of their own cultures, as you can say, like one society. So it might take generations and a lot of training if I take it as a country experience. And we need to start somewhere, so it's not something hopeless. And what I've seen from experience and also from the thesis studies my students carry out, and the guidance, the courses, they are also helping to shape the society we want to work towards. And from my experience, I've been living and studying in India in 2012 for 1 year. And I was at the Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University. And there they were some courses about specifically how the human values. So I was with a group of international students, and some students, they said that this was something new for them. It was not so extensively and focusedly taught, that like basic values, respecting each other. So that was for other cultures. So in Suriname, we have so many cultures and groups, and everyone, they have their own views on living a happy life, being healthy, maintaining hygiene, personal hygiene, and especially respecting each other. And when you, on top of that, have the courses, the specific courses, and now we're talking about higher education, then we have that generation of students who are, let's say, forced, yeah, they are forced to consciously think of these aspects. So uh, that was actually my observation, and maybe we have that point of discussion also, where several or various cultures in one society may be taken into account towards working the human values in order to have a happy living. But indeed, it takes time and generations. So thank you. I wanted to bring this up and share my country experience here.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experiences with Guru Gobind Singh University, and thank you for that point that we have to start somewhere. And I think everybody agreeing on this particular point. So we also thought in India that we have to start somewhere, and the reason we started with engineering student, the higher education, is the students who are sitting in our colleges and the university today, they are going to be the tomorrow's society. So that was the initial project. But now, a couple of states of India have started universal human value education in uh, the school education. For example, I can say Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. So thank you so much for your sharing. So human education is for the personal transformation, and through personal transformation, the societal transformation can be achieved. The goals for youth to achieve a humane society, the number one, clarity of comprehensive human code. So having the goal set to score a high marks in a job, that's just one, a little part. But when we try to develop this clarity about the comprehensive human goal, then we get to understand that right understanding and right feeling in every individual, health in every individual, prosperity in every family, fearlessness, trust in the society, the coexistence, mutual fulfillment in nature and existence. Human goals at the level of individuals. So individual is just not a body, but individual is the coexistence of self and body. So we can start looking into our needs. Do I have only a need of food, shelter, clothes, shoes, mobile, car, raincoat and sunglass and sunscreen? Or do I also have a need of happiness, respect, trust, justice, affection, guidance, love? If you start looking into, making the list of your needs, then you will find that there are two different types of needs. The one need is temporary in time, for example, food. and the other need is continuous in time, for example, happiness. The fulfillment of these both the needs are different. The need of the physical facility gets fulfilled by physiochemical things, and the need of the self, happiness, that's gets fulfilled by the right understanding and right feeling. So right understanding and right feeling, right thoughts in the self, health in the body, and the competence to recognize the required physical facilities with the feeling of prosperity and the right skill to produce it while ensuring harmony with the rest of the nature, that's basically develops the clarity. That sets the comprehensive understanding about a human goal at individual level. So the competence to rightly utilize and produce the physical capacity along with the ability to preserve mind, body, and the physical facilities. Ability to live in community with the right behavior and in a collaborative manner. The human goal at the level of family, the ability to recognize relationship in a family. Let's take a real life example. There's a family where the father is responsible to earn the money. He goes out to work. The mother is taking care of the whole family. And there are, two children going to the school. So the children who are going to the school are able to observe that my father is going outside, he's earning money for the family, but sometimes he goes through the stress and the work pressure, and then my mother supports him. She tried to help him in remaining cool and calm. And whenever my mother feels sick, my father is there to support her and he take care of the family. He also cook the food. Both of them together, they always try to guide their children and not impose their ideas on the children, setting up do's and don'ts and scolding on the children. They understand that the children also want to understand and they are trying to fulfill the want of the children with the feeling of affection and the guidance. So such children, when they will grow, they will also take care of their siblings and the cousins. And after their marriage, I'm sure their marriages will be very successful marriage. And when they will have their own children, by that time their parents will be old. And because they have seen their parents have taken the care of their grandparents, the children will take care of these parents. That's the meaning of family. And such concept can be passed on from one generation to the another generations based on development of this understanding and the feeling of relationship. So acceptance of responsibility that the family is expected to fulfill in the society, its fulfillment with the collaborations of the family, the preservation of the family traditions from generations to the generation, that becomes the human goals at the level of family. The human goal at the level of society, so the fulfillment of the collective responsibilities, those responsibilities that are required for a societal system to work smoothly and effectively. I share you one interesting example of my life. I was in school. I guess I was in class 4 and not a student. So one day, what happened? I left for my school with a college bag on my back. And me and some of my friends, we used to walk to our school. It was like half an hour from my home. And then in between, we saw a ground and the children were playing the cricket. And we were quite fond of playing cricket. So we thought that, okay, let's bunk the school and start playing the cricket. So we played the cricket and we were very, very smart kids. Naughty kids are always smart. So what we did? Exactly when the school gets over, we took our baggages and we went home. But do you know, that time there was no phone at home. But my mother came to know that I bunked the school and I spent whole time on the ground. But she was, my mother, correct, very clever lady. She didn't ask me where I was, but she simply asked me, how was the school? it was good. I learned that mathematics today. And then my mother said that how many run you have scored on the ground. I was shocked. That's the society. That's the society. I came to know from my mother only. She said that while you were playing on the cricket ground, one of my friends saw that you are in the cricket ground and your school bag is there. So she came to me and she said, Umesh is on the cricket ground. He has bunked the school. I'm just worried about his health and I'm just worried about his academic performance. That is the reason I'm informing. I'm not complaining. That's the society. Right? My child should feel very safe playing outside. My wife, if she is coming late home in the, from a house, from a workplace, she should be safe and secure. So that is the meaning of fearlessness in the society, the trust in the society. So that becomes the human goal at the level of society. Any question? Any sharing? Dr. Prashant has some question. Dr. Prashant? Do you have any question?
Dr. Prashant, may be given mic, please.
I can see Dr. Prashant has a question. Yes, Dr. Prashant, you have microphone. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Umeshji. Very nice discussion. A small point came when that Janice Didi asked a question. This right understanding development, this is somewhat slow process in the human being. So I think these earlier samskars which we are having, these are taking time, and that's why this time is taken. Is it like that? Ji, please.
Yeah, and for that, we have 25 years of education.
Ji.
So in this 25 years are enough to develop this right understanding in every individual. So
Ji.
in the school, he will get the value education. And not only from the school, but from the home also.
Yeah.
The school and the home, plus the society. And this
Yeah.
is the meaning of value-based education. And such value-based education will translate into value-based living. So don't you think that 25 years are enough, Dr. Prashant?
Yeah. but as per your example of this playing on the ground, means that cricket ground, it was there earlier, means a society or the friend of your mother, whatever she has done, it is due to the societal effect. But nowadays we cannot see if somebody is doing something. So in flats and all this nowadays society, what we are calling, isn't it, Ji?
Yeah, I mean, if it was there and it is not there, then let us bring it back.
Yeah, for that these conferences are there. Thank you.
Bring
We
it.
are working self-exploration. Ji.
Collectively, we can have a networking so that we
Yeah,
can the efforts together to bring it back.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
so
Thank you, Umesh ji. Very nicely going on. Namaste. Ji.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
So the development of conducive social environment and then development of humanistic constitution, relationship of mutual fulfillment between all. So human goal at the level of nature is ensuring mutual enrichment with every unit which exists in the nature at individual, family, village, national and international level. Look at this design of the nature and try and understand whether the nature is in harmony or disharmony. Just simple observation. We have so many trees around us and the season changes. So this green tree in the summer turns into dry and the dry leaf falls on the ground, on the soil. Tell me what happens to that leaf and what happens to the soil. you would be able to see that this dry leaves turns into manure, which enriches the soil, which makes the soil more fertile. And in that fertile soil, the more productions takes place. Correct? So and this is what the design of the nature is. It's in harmony. We have seen during this corona time that 4 months of time we were locked down. The human beings were locked down. And what we saw outside, there were some surprising things has happened on the busy streets of India. We observed peacocks. One of my friend who lives in Mumbai, and he called me one day and he said that we spotted dolphin next to the Gateway of India. Can you imagine? The Himalaya was being seen from a long distance. And this has happened just we have restricted our movements. So if you look at this physical order, bio order, and animal order, they are having a relationship of mutual fulfillment and mutual enrichment. So understanding this mutual fulfillment and mutual enrichment, participating for the same. So if the water, soil, moisture, sunlight, all these are good and pure, that would becomes a conducive environment for our farmers to produce, and we will get a very natural, production, which can nurture the body, the human body and the animal body. So ensuring mutual fulfillment with every unit in the nature, that becomes the human goal at the level of nature and the nature. So ensuring this cyclic and mutually enriching production process, ensuring preservation, which means right utilization, protection, and the enrichment of natural resources. Preservations of our physical facilities, our natural resources, that's also very important. I remember my grandfather was using an wooden chair. So since my childhood, I saw that he was using the same chair. And once what has happened, one of the leg of that chair was being broke. And then he got it repaired. And till his last breath, he continued using that same chair. So sometimes I used to think that my grandfather is a very stingy man. But later on that I understood, he's not stingy. He could have buy different chairs, but the preservations of the nature, that was important for him, because he might have understood that I am one of the part of the nature, and the survival of the human being is totally dependent on the nature. So if the nature is giving me food, the nature is giving me air, the nature is giving me water, the nature is giving me sunlight, then I also need to participate in the mutual fulfillment of the nature. So that's the meaning of ensuring preservation, right utilization, protection, and the enrichment of the natural resources. So achieving a human society through youth by empowering them with the development of vision for a human society, what is required is basically identification of human goal, a common goal at collective, a societal level. And that common goal is right understanding and right feeling in every individual, health in every individual, prosperity in every family, fearlessness, trust in the society, the coexistence, mutual fulfillment at the level of nature and existence. Developing our youth with all these things will be able to achieve the common graduate attributes, and such graduate will participate for the transformation of the society, and our vision for a human society will be realized. But what is essentially required for that is the value education to begin with, and slowly to go for the value-based education, which can translate into value-based living. Let me see if there is any question.
So one question is from Praksham ji. He's asking us, what are the possible way to implement the right understanding to the students' community?
Yeah, one of the best way and the possible way is through education. So, if you look at our content of education and the different courses we are giving to the children, let us try and do the evaluation of it, that how many skill-based courses we have and how many value-based courses we have. My general observation, if there are 50 courses a student is studying in undergrad program, out of this 50, hardly 1 or 2 courses are based on the values, and in some university, the number is still 0. So just imagine 50 versus 0 or 48 versus 2. So through education, if you start incorporating the universal human value education in your schools, colleges, and the university, that is the beginning. And that's the way to implement this right understanding with the student community. But what is important for that? To follow the process of universal human value also and the guidelines of universal human values also. So when you are talking about human values, it shall be universal. It shall be applicable to every human being living on the planet Earth. And which means the value shall not be based on any nationality, caste, creed, religion, philosophy, or any particular practice. But it should be natural to all the human beings living in this world. So this is a guideline. And the process is basically the process of self-exploration. So the content which follows these guidelines with the process of self-exploration would definitely help every student to explore within and develop this right understanding within. Thank you for your question. Yeah, so with the same note, can I conclude? Dr. Upasana ji?
Yeah, we have 5 to 7 more minutes. So if any question from participants' side, we can take it. Or reflection or any observation also, you can share. Yeah, Chilakala ji, you are writing something. If you wish, you may get mic and share. Janice ji is writing, texting. The experience of Mr. Jadhav ji is of his grandfather, and the broken chair leg is similar we have in Suriname. Younger generations are not repairing minded because a lot of materialistic aspects of life can be bought by money. So to instill again the mind of repairing things, should that be trained that as a comprehensive holistic course. For example, this materialistic thinking goes further to marriage relationships instead of mending it. So, Umeshji, you want to reflect on it?
Yeah, very true. And that is what, in Keynote 1 and Keynote 2 and in the Keynote 3 also, each one of us has reached to this conclusion that all these different courses need to be designed and implement in the mainstream of our education so that the mindset of children will develop to repair and not to destroy. Right? So thank you for your sharing.
Thank you, Ms. Janice, for constant connection with
Yeah,
us.
our Rajeshwari ji has said students nowadays are mostly influenced by the social media. I would ask this question, who is getting influenced by? Right? So it's I am getting influenced by. I'm getting influenced by because there is a possibility that I'm not able to decide upon my own self what is right for me and what is not right for me. So if we develop this ability in the student, wherein they can explore within themselves what is right for them and what is not right for them, then they would be doing the right utilization of the media. Media is not wrong, right? The media is there. But then the question is that, am I doing the right utilization of the media. The phone is good. The internet is good. Because of the phones, because of this internet, we got connected to each other and we are talking to each other. Right? It's good. Akash ji is also saying that it is good. But then issue is that have I developed this clarity within me to do the right utilization of the media, the right utilization of the phones, the right utilization of the internet? It's on me. And that is the role of education, to develop this clarity about what is right and what is not right. And the interesting thing is that every human being wants to know what is right. So if you want to know what is right, then education shall take this responsibility to help us in understanding what is right. So it will be reflected into right living. And the individuals with this right living will have a right feeling in the families, and such families together would participate for the societal transformation and our aspiration of a humane society will be realized. But the bold step that we need to implement is universal human value education. So thank you for being with us for this keynote address. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Chilakalaji, if you want to share, you have 2 minutes to share. Please make it fast.
Ma'am, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity, sir. But we may need to implement certain rules in internet, sir, and in TV channels also, because continuously they should not disturb the peaceful mind of the students. Anyway, we are training them in a good way. But if it is disturbing in between, they will focus only towards bad things, not on good things. Good things are really difficult to learn. Good character building is difficult than losing the moral values. So we need some blocks in the internet, and internet gaming is there. It is totally deviating students. Who is taking care? Why they are paying for the games? Students nowadays, some students are asking, children are earning more money with internet games. It is more than education for them. It is like that. Why they have got deviated is because of this games.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your input. Come question. And I'm agree children more gaming today.
Yes, sir.
Because they want to be happy. Right?
Yes, yes, sir. Physical activity has come down, sir, drastically.
Yeah. So the reason,
nobody want to go and play.
yeah,
They want.
the reason is that they want to be happy, but they do not have clarity on what is happiness. So they think that
Yes.
is a happiness.
Mm.
Why is it happening? We have never thought about it.
Mm.
If the family is sitting together and spending a quality time with each other, why do engage on a cell phone and gaming?
That is also true, sir.
The issue today that we are not able to interact with each other openly at the level of our family. The parents are also busy with their gadgets. What the poor child will do? He wants to be happy. And finally, he finds that the gaming, the cell phone is making me some sort of sensations in me, and is trying to derive happiness from the notion of happiness. And that is the issue, right? So
yes,
this universal human value education would also help us to have the clarity about the true meaning of happiness. What is the meaning of happiness? These are all excitement. And there's a difference between excitement and happiness. So we can start observing within ourselves, have I developed that clarity to be in the harmony within most of the time or all the time? Or most of the time, I remain in the state of an excitement. Correct?
yes,
Yes.
yes, sir, you are correct.
Thank you so much. And that's the reason,
Thank you, sir.
and again, I'm saying the same thing. It's the role of
Yes,
to develop the competency to live with human consciousness, which means transform an individual, and such individuals collectively can transform the society, but through personal transformation. And that's the role of it.
yes.
So thank you for being there. Thank you.
Yes.
So we sincerely thank Dr. Umesh Jadhav for his visionary and impactful keynote address. His insights have deepened our understanding of how value-based education can serve as a powerful tool in empowering youth to become socially responsible individuals committed to humanity, harmony, and coexistence. On behalf of the organizing committee of the 10th International Conference on Universal Human Values in Higher Education, we express our heartfelt gratitude to the speaker and to all distinguished participants for their attentive presence and engagement. We now conclude this keynote session. The conference will reconvene at 10:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste.